only with regard to a written message. 1 Co 5. 9. Confidential letters were usually sealed. 1 Kai 21. 8 Sanballat's disrespectful action in sending an open letter to Nehemiah may have been intended to cause the false charges set forth therein to become public knowledge. Ne 6. 5. In addition to papyrus, materials employed for letter writing in ancient times included ostraca, small pieces of broken pottery or earthenware, and clay tablets. Thousands of clay tablets have been found in Babylonia and other regions. Washed and cleaned, smooth clay was made into a tablet and, while still wet, it was imprinted by means of a stylus forming wedge-shaped cuneiform characters. These tablets were often enclosed in clay envelopes. In the case of contracts, the text was sometimes repeated on the envelope. The envelopes were sealed and then baked in a kiln or dried in the sun to make them hard and durable. See archaeology. Letter writing was often done by professional scribes. As in the Persian court, such scribes were usually on hand to take down official government correspondence. As 8. 9. As 4. 8 scribes were also to be found in the marketplaces near city gates, where they could be engaged by the populace to write letters and to record business transactions. Letters were sometimes delivered by messengers to Kai 19. 14. Runners to ch 30. 6. Or couriers as 3. 13. 8. 14. Postal service itself seems to have been restricted to official correspondence down to Roman times. So average persons had to rely on traveling acquaintances or merchants to deliver their letters. Anciently, letters of recommendation were also used. However, the Apostle Paul did not need such letters to or from the Christians at Corinth to prove that he was a minister. He had helped them to become Christians and therefore could say, "You yourselves are our letter, inscribed on our hearts, and known and being read by all mankind." 2 Co 3. 1-3. In the 1st century CE, letters from Paul, James, Peter, John, Jude, and the governing body in Jerusalem contributed to the growth and the preservation of the unity and cleanness of the Christian congregation. Acts 15. 22-31. 16. 4, 5. 2 Co 7. 8, 9. 10. 8-11. Letushim la middle dot ushim, possibly from a root meaning sharpen. Hammer. Forge. A name appearing among the descendants of Abraham and Keturah through Dedan. GE 25. 3. This name has the plural Hebrew ending im, as do the names as Shurim and Loamim appearing in the same O-text way acute miritra longo. Levi 240. Ancient times to achieve horizontal accuracy when building walls and various structures, while the plummet was used to assure vertical accuracy. Egyptian masons seem to have employed a level shaped like the letter A with a short plumb line suspended from the apex. Evidently, when the hanging line coincided with the center mark on the crossbar, this indicated that the surface on which it was placed was level. The scriptures furnish no description of leveling instruments, however, and they refer to this device only in figurative ways. A leveling instrument may be used to construct a building properly or to test its fitness for preservation. Jehovah foretold that he would apply to wayward Jerusalem the measuring line applied to Samaria and also the leveling instrument applied to the house of Ahab. God had measured and found Samaria and the house of King Ahab to be morally bad or corrupt, resulting in their destruction. Likewise, God would judge Jerusalem and its rulers, exposing their wickedness and bringing about the destruction of that city. These events actually occurred in 607 BCE to Car 21. 10-13. 10. 11 through Isaiah. The various wicked braggarts and rulers of the people in Jerusalem were apprised of their coming calamity and of Jehovah's declaration. I will make justice the measuring line and righteousness the leveling instrument. The standards of true justice and genuine righteousness would reveal who were really God's servants and who were not, resulting in either preservation or destruction. Isla 28. 14-19. Levi la 6 adherents. Joint. 1. Jacob's third son by his wife Leah, born in Paddan Aram. GE 35. 23, 26. At his birth Leah said, "Now this time my husband will join himself to me, because I have borne him 3 sons. The boy was therefore called Levi, the meaning of this name evidently being linked with Leah's hope for a new bond of affection between her and Jacob. GE 29. 34 Levi became the father of Gershon, Gershom, Kohath, and Merari, founders of the three principal divisions of the Levites. GE 46. 11. 1 ch 6. 1, 16. Levi, along with his brother Simeon, took drastic action against the defilers of their sister Dinah. GE 34. 25, 26, 31 This expression of violent anger was cursed by Jacob, who foretold that Levi's descendants would be scattered in Israel, a prophecy that was fulfilled when the Levites were indeed scattered throughout 48 Levite cities in the territories of Israel's various tribes in the land of Canaan. GE 49. 7. Jos 21. 41 Levi accompanied Jacob into Egypt and died there at 137 years of age. X1. 1, 2. 6. 16. See Levites. 2. An ancestor of Jesus Christ, who is referred to as the son of Simeon in the genealogy of Jesus recorded by Luke. He is listed in the line between David and Zerubbabel. Luke 3. 27-31. 3. The son of Melchi, who is the second person preceding Holy Mary's father in Luke's genealogy of Jesus. Luke 3. 23, 24. 4. A tax collector Mr. 2. 14. Luke 5. 27, 29 Who became an apostle of Jesus Christ and was otherwise known as Matthew. Mount 9. 9. 10. 2-4. See Matthew. Leviathan Heb. Lu middle.ya. This Hebrew word occurs 6 times in the Bible. It is believed to come from a root word meaning wreath. Hence the name indicates something that is wreathed, or gathered into folds. The word is transliterated in most Bible translations. Since, with the exception of Job 3. 8, that references mention water in connection with it, Leviathan appears to signify some form of aquatic creature of great proportions and strength, although not necessarily of one specific kind. Psalm 104. 25, 26 describes it as cavorting in the sea where ships travel, and for this reason many suggest that the term here applies to some type of whale. Though whales are rare in the Mediterranean, they are not unknown there, and parts of 2 whale skeletons can be found in a museum at Beirut in Lebanon. An American translation here says crocodile instead o textoi acute muritra longo, Levites 241 The Nile Canals. Also as 32. 2. Isaiah 27. 1 apparently employs Leviathan LXX, the dragon as a symbol of an empire, an organization that is international in scope and that is dominated by one who himself is referred to as serpent and dragon. Re 12. 9 The prophecy is one of restoration for Israel, and therefore Jehovah's turning attention to Leviathan must include Babylon. However, verses 12 and 13 consider Assyria and Egypt as well. So, Leviathan here evidently refers to an international organization or empire that is in opposition to Jehovah and his worshippers. Levirate marriage. See brother-in-law marriage. Levite cities. The Levites were given no territorial allotment, Jehovah being their inheritance. New 18. 20. 18. 1, 2 But God directed that the other tribes of Israel give them a total of 48 cities and surrounding pasture grounds. New 35. 1-8 Such cities were ultimately assigned to the Levites. Jos 21. 1-8, and 13 of them were priestly cities. Jos 21. 19. See priests' cities. Of the 48 cities, 6 were assigned as cities of refuge for unintentional manslayers. Jos 20. 7-9. See cities of refuge. The scattering of the Levites among the other tribes of Israel was in fulfillment of Jacob's deathbed prophecy. GE 49. 5-7. The Levites had the right to repurchase at any time houses they sold within their cities, or these were restored to them during the Jubilee year. But the pasture lands adjacent to their cities were never to be sold. La 25. 32-34. See Levites. Levites of belonging to Levi. Descendants of Levi, third son of Jacob by Leah. GE 29. 32-34. At times the term applies to the whole tribe, but usually it excludes the priestly family of Aaron. Jos 14. 3, 4. 21. 1-3. Thus the expression priests and Levites is common. 1 Chi 8. 4. 1 Ch 23. 2. As 1. 5. Jo 1. 19 priestly duties were confined to the male members of Aaron's family, with the Levites, the rest of the tribe, acting as their assistants. New 3. 3, 6-10. This arrangement began with the setting up of the tabernacle, as before this no particular family or tribe was assigned to offer the sacrifices. X 24. 5. Taken as a ransom for firstborn. The Levites were chosen by Jehovah in place of all the firstborn of the other tribes. X 13. 1, 2, 11-16. New 3. 41. Counting from a month old upward, there were 22,000 Levite males who could be exchanged for the same number of firstborn males of the other tribes. The census taken in the wilderness of Sinai revealed that there were 22,273 firstborn sons in the other tribes. Therefore, God required that a ransom price of 5 shekels $11 be given to Aaron and his sons for each of the 273 firstborn in excess of Levites. New 3. 39, 43, 46-51. Duties. The Levites were made up of 3 families, from Levi's sons Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. GE 46. 11. 1 Ch 6. 1, 16. Each of these families